Hello, everybody. This is the Wichita State Esports podcast. My name is Levi. I am the video producer for all the Wichita State Esports content. You guys probably seen a lot of my videos, but you actually haven't seen me. You probably seen me one video, but that's about it. So I'm really happy to be with you guys and talk about some esports with our two guys here on the team. We got Justin Johnson. Justin, you're on the League of Legends team, is that correct? What can you tell me about your role and stuff real quick?
I play the 80 carry role for Wichita State University, but I also do full-time streaming, and I'm pretty high ranked in League of Legends, Diamond 1 currently.
That's impressive. That's great to have you on the team. So, and we also have the fan favorite, Joe. Joe is coach slash coordinator slash probably everything. You run everything behind the scenes for the most part. So,
yep, that's true.
So, well, guys, the first thing I want to talk about is I was trying to get a hold of you guys to do a podcast, but you guys were really busy with the tryouts. So, how well did the tryouts went? What sort of tell me about like when you guys started, like, and what you guys were looking for when you're doing tryouts?
Yeah, so obviously we started our first round of tryouts pretty early in the summer. I want to say it was like early June. It ended up taking like a longer kind of bookend amount of time just because I got so busy with stuff that was going on during quarantine with the Overwatch team competing in the UMG tournaments as well as Rocket League, and then CSGO playing out their playoffs. But it was really good. We were looking to fill like a couple of team needs. I think we made a couple upgrades in a few places, and we're also starting to bolster our roster as far as substitutes go. And we're starting to kind of lean towards maybe possibly having like a JV team on the roster as well, just to kind of keep a more healthy feeder system into the varsity team and something that we can use with players that are already integrated into our program rather than pulling from other places.
So, Justin, how were you involved in the tryouts?
I mean, I did some of the tryout phase with the team and with different people on the roster. I'm one of the people that's been on there for probably the longest. So I also helped Joe out in recommending players and who we should go with and who do we think strong and what positions.
So you're basically the very knowledgeable person, so you can see who's like what to look for and everything. And yeah. So in terms of like, there's a lot of challenges when it comes to tryouts. Like you have to kind of find the right person. Like I've had experience when I hire somebody for my video production stuff that sometimes you could get the wrong person. It can cause a lot of problems. So you have to learn how to vet people correctly. And like, what are some ways that you guys vet people, and how do you figure out what specifically are you looking for in your teams? Like there's obviously rankings, like one of the first things, but there's more to it, personality and everything. So what type of things are you guys looking for?
So for me, like I might do this a little bit differently than other coaches. I really don't know how other coaches are doing it, but once we have the lobby set up and we're scrimmaging against other colleges, I help the team get through the draft phase, especially with people who are maybe unfamiliar with how to draft in like a competitive environment, as far as just clicking buttons, like making sure that everything's good to go. It's easy for them. And then I'm kind of removing myself from the voice chat to let them kind of speak to each other organically. And that's one of the, important things about League is the amount of communication that goes into it, whether it's, taking objectives, approaching team fights, setting up ganks, things like that. So I'm really looking for somebody who's kind of meshing with the team on a vocal level. I think all of our players did a pretty good job. Sometimes the first game, they're a little bit more nervous. And then after that first game, no matter what the result is, they kind of settle in. So we saw that a little bit across the board as well. But I'm looking for kind of a good vocal team fit for sure.
Okay. So Justin, what was some stuff you were looking for too?
I'm kind of looking for a balance between sort of carries and supports, because if you have a team mixed with just 4 people or 5 people who just want to carry the game and are really good at it, it's not really a good balance for a team. You need people to have that supportive role and then some people that have that carry role. And so far with this comp, I think, or with this set of players, I think we have a really good chance of doing really well in the next coming season.
And what are some like red flags you guys are looking for? Because I think to me, one of the best way to vet people is actually kind of see the negative aspects of them. Like, and it's kind of hard to see red flags because you don't really know the person. You have to find out where are some red flags you guys are looking for that hey, maybe this person's not quite ready to be on the team yet with us.
Well, luckily we're kind of in the position now as a team where we can kind of set a minimum bar of where we want our players to be skill wise. And I think that does mitigate quite a bit of what could be perceived as like negativity or toxicity towards people who are lower ranked. And then again, like it just comes back to like voice comms. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, if they're trying hard, you're not going to see anything that's like, you know, intentionally bad in a tryout situation. But, you know, we're listening to tone of voice, how they're responding to calls, you know, where their game knowledge lies. With something that's overtly like negative, like a red flag, I didn't see any of those in our tryouts. You know, obviously we'd be looking for somebody who's got kind of abusive comms, but luckily we didn't have any of that this year.
Okay, cool. That's really exciting. And did you guys feel like you accomplished what you were looking for, or was there something that was lacking that you hope to see next time in tryouts?
I think just generally, because of the skill ask we have for players coming into the program, it is a little bit difficult to get a good volume of players trying out. Like, obviously I want all the good players in the world to come try for our team. That's how you get better. And, you know, you create kind of a crucible for your players to start improving, go, whoa, you know, next man up kind of situation. That's what I would really like. I'd like to see the program grow. You know, I'd like to have more visibility so we can get those kind of players in the program. Overall, though, I do think that the people that we picked are very capable. I think this is going to kind of help us take that next step, especially within our conference, you know, to start competing with kind of those top 4 teams. I definitely think we've got much better chances this year against people like Missouri and Illinois College than we did previously.
Well, that's great to know that things are kind of coming together for the most part. And what have you guys learned from these tryouts and you hope to incorporate in future tryouts?
I would definitely like to, you know, make it more compact. I think, you know, having COVID come up and me taking on even more responsibilities than I initially anticipated when we were talking about a tryout this year, I would like it to be over like 1 or 2 weekends instead of dragging out over a month and a half. Obviously, that's probably going to be the situation next year when we can have in-person tryouts again, hopefully. I don't want to jinx it. But just getting the players kind of around each other more, you know, creating that kind of, you know, I don't want to say like, you know, the esprit de corps of being in person, you know, kind of getting the new players as well, familiar with the space, where they're going to be playing, meeting the people that they're going to be playing with is a completely different level than just talking over Discord.
Yeah, COVID's kind of really made us hard to guess for us to get together. And so you kind of lose a lot to that in tryouts, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Cool. So, Justin, kind of going back to you real quick, like in previous tryouts or the tryouts that you went through, like what was your experience when you tried out for Wichita State Esports? Or did you even go through tryouts? Like, because I know at some point we were just grabbing people.
I've been in every single tryout since I've been on the team, which I think I was on the team the first year, which was the first semester of last year. But I mean, tryouts seem to go pretty smoothly. In the earlier semesters, it was kind of difficult because we didn't have a lot of people trying out, and when we did have a lot of people trying out, we had like 3 or 4 people playing the same role, and maybe one person playing their main role. So it was pretty difficult. But I mean, this most recent tryout, it seemed like we had a lot of different roles and a lot of different people willing to try and wanting to try out. So it seemed to go a lot more smoothly than in the previous.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, we're still a fairly new entity, and we're still trying to figure it out. So, and I think we're doing pretty good so far in terms of compared to other places, and we've had a lot of support with that. So, cool. I mean, is there anything you guys like to add with any tryouts or anything about kind of what do you hope from these tryouts? What will the players bring to the team?
I think a lot of it is just kind of bolstering, you know, what we already had. You know, we're taking a lot of the positives, which Justin was one of the positives from last year, and kind of building around them. we had, a long way to go from the beginning of where we were last year. We made some very marked improvements, but like I said, I think these new players that are coming into the program are going to add a lot more stability to the team. We're not going to have one guy playing all 5 roles in a semester. Like, I think this brings us to another level of competition, another level of seriousness as a program. But yeah, we're really starting to build this team up to be able to punch up a little bit harder than we have been.
If you guys notice, we're missing one person, and that's Courtney. Courtney, unfortunately, is sick, and we hope she gets better, especially before Saturday, which we'll talk about later. But how well did you think Courtney? What did she bring? Because Courtney, she's not a traditional esports person, but she's very into the sports scene and other aspects. And what did you thought she brought to the table to the tryouts and with her knowledge and everything?
Yeah, so Courtney is, kind of, we really complement each other really well, because I'm kind of that base of esports knowledge. And, obviously I'm the head coach of this team. I help manage the schedules of other teams. So she took a really big load off of my shoulders when it came to like dealing with the administration, get everything set up, ordering jerseys, all of that stuff that was my responsibility for 2 months while we were searching for somebody. So it allows me to kind of kick up the gear when it comes to, making sure that players are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and kind of back to the player and team management aspect of my job that I enjoy.
That's great to hear that she kind of gives a load off and lets you focus, and she does the other stuff. So, by the way, I got her picture up. That's apparently her birthday was last week or something, the 12th. Yep. So happy late birthday to her. And that's kind of that picture's before her awesome haircut that she has now. Cool. So I guess we can move on in terms of one thing I also like to touch on is, and this kind of bring me into the conversation, is that we have a tournament this Saturday, Rocket League tournament. It's an expedition, so it's a little bit more on the casual side. But what we're excited about is this is kind of my first. We kind of did like a stream before WSU TV and the esports team. We kind of did a trial one, and we had some funny moments with that, and we're trying to forget about it and bury it. But this one, we're kind of going all hands on deck, and we're bringing like a well-produced production for our esports team, which is probably the first time we really are focusing on it. So real quick, we'll give you the details right now, is that Joe, I think it's like the tournament is 1v1. Actually, why don't you take it over? Could you describe the tournament to me?
Yeah, so we're doing a tournament because WSU Tech is kind of starting to get into esports a little bit, and they want to build a program. So one of the ways we're kind of introducing it is setting up a Rocket League 1v1 tournament for graduated high schoolers. So class of 2020, looking to go to college. We're bringing some kids that are hot on the sticks in to compete, and the pricing is actually insane. Like, I think they're giving away a PS5 for first place. And this is going to be like an all-day affair. Like, I'm going to be streaming the games from, I think, 11 a.m. is when it starts, I believe, down until the grand finals, which is going to be streamed on WSU TV. And the thing I'm most excited for, maybe a little bit selfishly, is the fact that we're going to have this high production value. And I think Justin can attest to this, but it's definitely a more serious environment, maybe in a more fun environment when you know that you're on the screen playing, people are casting your match. It's fun to go back and watch and see what the casters have to say if you mess up or if you're doing really well. I know Justin has a couple clips of casters, kind of hyping him up. But it's definitely a fun experience to be cast. I'm excited to cast this weekend, which is going to be an interesting experience for me with my, I don't want to say super limited, but relatively limited Rocket League knowledge. Luckily, I'm just going to be doing color. But it's going to be super fun. I'm excited to be in the studio and get that all set up. But yeah, I'm excited to start to bring that aspect to the varsity program as well and get our matches up and streamed, because we've got really good teams coming in this year, and it's going to be a fun time.
Cool. Yeah. Kind of the little background on what WSU TV is doing is, I already mentioned we're producing it. The reason we've been holding up streams is because we have to keep things accessible, and that's a huge mountain to climb for us. We have to make sure that people who have a hard time listening can see what's going on. We have subtitles and everything. So what we're going to do is it's streaming all day on the Twitch channel, but it's going to WCTV on the championship scene. So that makes it us able to actually do it. So we're going to just be covering the championship scene on the live produced WCTV, but you can watch pretty much the whole tournament. Is that right, Joe? On your Twitch.
Yes, yeah, that'll just be the matches, and just so anybody who's interested can watch those and kind of keep track to the tournament up to that point. But yeah, the full production is going to be the grand finals.
Yeah, and I've had experience doing track meets, and we done a basketball game, we done commencement, but this is a whole new monster for our whole video team. And right now it's really funny because we're trying to scramble. Like when we go to a track meet, we kind of know what's going on with the outline, but right now we're just trying to create something new. So I am directing it. So if it ends horribly, it's on my shoulders. So don't blame Joe. And Joe's actually going to be on screen with us. He's going to be one of the talents talking to us. So that's really exciting. It sounds to me like it's just going to be a lot of fun for us. One other aspect I want to touch on too is that it's going to be interactive. We'll have a chat channel and everything, so you guys can talk in and stuff. Some other stuff we're going to try to attempt to do is we're going to try to get interviews with the players before the matches. We're still trying to figure out details, so no promises right now. But that's one thing we're trying to do that will probably be better and a lot more than a lot of the collegiate scenes going on right now. And this is going to be our first one, and it's exciting because this is really exciting because this will be our first time. We're going to make some mistakes, but we're going to learn a lot at the same time. So
definitely.
Let's see. So actually, I actually want to ask Justin a question. Is that I guess have you been shoutcasted? Like somebody's watching your stuff, they're shoutcasting and commentating. Is that correct? Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
And like what? Tell me like what happened there. Like that sounds exciting to me.
For some reason, I feel like I really perform when I'm getting shoutcasted. So it always is fun I rewatch my VODs, and I've had a lot of people clip and send me clips of the shoutcasters talking about me. And I don't know, it really brightens up my day. It makes you feel good about yourself when people are just saying good things about you. But there always is those rough times where shoutcasting does go bad. You ended up just getting stomped, and it's just the shoutcasters are trash talking you. But I mean, there's nothing you can do because you played poorly. But it's a really fun experience. I really enjoy being on stage.
Well, we'll go easy on the players this Saturday. We won't. I don't think I think we're not going to trash talk them too much. So we're pretty nice over here. So yeah, so that's really exciting for me. I'm stressed out a little bit, but we'll figure it out. I'm making graphics right now, or I'm making outlines and trying to figure out schedules and stuff. So everything's up in the air in terms of how things are going to go, but I'm pretty confident it's going to be really cool and exceed a lot of people's expectations in terms of production value we're going to bring. So, and this is going to lead on to new stuff. There's stuff that it's in the works with esports with our production team, and I'm really excited moving forward what's going to happen. So it's funny because this whole time I'm making these like informational videos, and we've been calling off the streams, and now we're finally doing it. So
yeah,
so it's been kind of in the making for a while. So let's see. Another topic I'd like to touch on with you guys is the Microsoft has made a while back. Microsoft made a competitor called Mixer to Twitch, and a year ago, I think it was almost like a whole year ago, is that the big news was they brought in Shroud, they brought in Ninja, all these really popular esports players to really like compete against Twitch. And I think a lot of people were excited about it because it was actually competition. Twitch can, in a lot of ways, keep accountable for some stuff they've been doing and stuff, and Microsoft can exceed them in some ways. But what does this mean for so kind of continue on the news real quick is that now, unfortunately, Mixer is gone. We found out that maybe Ninja and Shroud didn't have the leverage that we thought they did, which is a little disappointing. But in terms of like esports, what does this mean for esports? I mean, did Mixer make impact at all to esports? Was this something we were considering? What do you guys think about Mixer and the kind of the downfall of it.
Oh, sorry, did I get this right? I do not keep up with Mixer, but Mixer's officially gone. Like they don't exist anymore.
Microsoft decided that it's going to go away. I don't know if it's gone right now. I think
it's getting absorbed by Facebook gaming.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's getting absorbed by Facebook gaming, but it's kind of unfortunate though because it was supposed to be its own identity. So
yeah. Is it going to be still Mixer? Just Facebook gaming sponsored it, or
no? I don't think Mixer is going to exist as a platform.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe the back end. It sounds like the back end will, but
yeah, I think they're moving some contracts that Microsoft had with some streamers, especially community streamers like myself and Justin, or people that are bigger than that. Like I guess the equivalent of like what a Twitch partner would be, are being offered new contracts by Facebook.
Okay.
But no, regarding Mixer, I mean, Justin and I are both affiliated on Twitch. Twitch has kind of built its own identity and it has its own culture as a streaming platform, for better or worse. But the amount of like professional sports or esports and professional sports, if you count the chess stuff that's been going on, like being hosted on Twitch is just too massive. I feel like the theater for this kind of stuff is really oversaturated, and Mixer just wasn't really up to snuff. I don't think that, outside of the community streamers like the Mixer partners, the Ninja and Shroud thing, obviously, they made a good decision for their wallets, and I don't blame them at all. But the fact they're going to be freed up and are possibly getting large sums of money for the contracts being bought out and then moving back to Twitch is kind of a testament for like how much of a pillar Twitch is in the community. I mean, Ninja went from getting like hundreds of thousands of views on his live streams to like 500 on Mixer. So people didn't follow him. I think people are very comfortable with Twitch and its interface and its culture that's already built there, and they're not going to move. I think the only like legitimate competition that Twitch has right now is probably YouTube in the United States. I think Facebook has, maybe a better chance in Asia to compete because it is definitely more popular there, especially in the Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. But I think Twitch is just kind of the big one, and I think that's what's going to happen. And I think Justin can attest to that, being a Twitch affiliate and how easy it was to become a part of that. And the streaming experience is just simply very good on Twitch, I believe.
I think it's just to comment more on this. I think it's actually kind of sad that Mixer is going at this point in time, because I don't know if is it DMCA? Is that the problem going on with Twitch right now?
Yeah.
A lot of people's clips. Yeah, because this seems like a problem for Twitch. I don't know if it's reached Mixer or if it can reach Mixer. I don't quite know how those laws work, but this seems like a troubling time when a lot of people are having a really hard time with Twitch and just them being a difficult platform to stream on. It seems like not a downfall, but it seems like this would be a time where people would move to Mixer. And since Mixer is getting shut down, I mean, there's not really much else to move to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know if you guys might have more insight than I do, but one of the commentaries I saw is that, oh, wait, the Ninja, Shroud, all these big esports guys, maybe they didn't have much leverage as we thought they did. Maybe it's more about what games they're playing or whatnot. Is that something you guys agree with?
I thought it was kind of odd because I mean, so when Shroud and Ninja both first moved to Mixer, they were still out performing a lot of the higher people up in Twitch. But I mean, it's just the amount of people that are in Mixer compared to Twitch is just not even close. I mean, you could say that Shroud would pull 50,000 people to his stream, and he'd be the top on both platforms. But I mean, just the amount of player base on Twitch is just astronomically higher than Mixer. So it's just all Mixer had was a couple streamers, while Twitch had just people that been there for so long. They tried to it seems like they tried to destroy an entire platform just by taking two of the top people. And I mean, you can't just destroy an entire platform and just take a couple and really have nothing else to offer, it seems like.
Yeah, I think one of the things that got Mixer a little bit is I don't think they realized how integrated people are into the Twitch platform as well. Because, I mean, I personally, this isn't my thing, but I know people that do care about this. If they were watching Ninja and Shroud or something, if they were subscribed to multiple people, like let's say they watched, Hiko or Summit as well, they have subscriptions to multiple people on that platform. They have emotes that they can use in Twitch chat. They're kind of hooked into Twitch in different ways that are gonna be kind of hard obstacles to overcome for them to just go to another platform to watch one person, because maybe they just watch Ninja and they don't watch Shroud or vice versa. I think we saw a lot of people move to go watch other people. I think a lot of people just kind of migrated to Summit stream, and gosh, who's the other guy, Tifu, and all of them. They kind of just got a big plus to their viewership and created bigger people. Now, I'm not exactly against the viewer recycling, because it just creates a bigger community of large streamers that are entertaining to watch, and a lot of content's getting made. But I think Ninja, especially, I don't think Shroud did, because he didn't have the same public perception as Ninja did. But I don't know if this hurts or helps Ninja's reputation. I don't think it really matters, because he's made his money, and props to him. But I don't know where his future will go as far as streaming. Now, if he comes back to Twitch, it could be perfectly fine. That could be it. He's back and everybody watches him again. But it'll be interesting to see who offers him a contract next.
Yeah, those guys. I think whoever won out of this, it was basically Shroud and Ninja, because they still, like, from what I understand, they're still getting the money, but they don't have to fulfill their obligation because Mixer's gone. So that's like some big money there for little work. They were there for almost a year at this point. But it's just like, I think their contract was like, 3 years or something like that.
Yeah.
It was multiple years, and they definitely cashed out on that. So props to them. It just, it sucks for the Mixer community. I think for me, like, it'd be nice to have competition. Oddly enough, I'm not really into watching streams or anything, but I've been getting into Twitch lately. It's not because of gaming Twitch. I've actually been getting the political stuff. Like there's I guess there's kind of a growing politics channel where people are talking about politics, and they're just streaming, talking about the news and stuff. So, in terms of like, do you guys feel like Twitch will rise up, do better? Because I know in the past there's been some controversy of them kind of not being held accountable for what they've been doing and stuff like that. Do you think Twitch will rise up and do better, or do you think they're just going to slack off because they don't have much of a competition?
This actually reminds me of I don't know if you keep up with CS:GO and the new FPS Valorant, the Riot Games FPS. But when Valorant was released, it brought a lot of CS:GO's community away from CS:GO and towards Valorant, because there were so many problems with CS:GO. And immediately after Valorant launched and it started getting a lot of love, the CS:GO community, or the CS:GO devs and stuff, finally started fixing a lot of the problems. I know there was a really big problem with the gun called the SG, and they finally fixed that. They fixed a lot of map problems. But Twitch, I feel like only competitor basically is just off the map. I really don't think I don't think they're going to fix anything anytime soon, unless another competitor does show up, like CS:GO had to do with Valorant. But it's kind of sad, but you don't have any competitors, there's really nothing else you have to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I think what Justin's saying is completely true. But I also think that Twitch does do a pretty decent job of kind of promoting their top streamers in every category. I enjoy watching like the Twitch Rivals League of Legends tournament that they do. I enjoy most of the league streamers that stream a lot. I watch a lot of Korean streamers, which is kind of interesting because they always stream during the day when I'm awake late at night. But they do a lot to promote some of their categories, which is interesting. They just recently did like a chess tournament. They do Twitch Rivals for a lot of games, and I think that that's the kind of content that they really need to focus on, other than their contracts with the professional leagues, of course. But yeah, definitely promoting their own personalities is going to be a huge thing for them, and I just think if they continue doing it, like there's no stopping them.
And how does it? How do you think this move is going to change us? I guess we're just going to stay on Twitch. I remember when Tyler was with us, when Mixer was like, Tyler's like, yeah, we're going to be the first collegiate team to stream on Mixer. I remember he was first talking about that when this big news came, and he wanted to like really own up to that. But now that's like we're definitely not going to do that now. So in terms of how do you think it'll affect us in terms of when we're streaming our stuff?
Well, I think the multicast is still an interesting opportunity, like the ability to stream to Twitch, to YouTube, to Facebook. There's definitely people that are on YouTube that aren't watching Twitch or Facebook, and there's definitely Facebook people that aren't watching the other two. So they all have their own audience. They all have their own niche to fit, and obviously Twitch is the biggest one. But I still think that the multi-stream is definitely a good thing. I mean, YouTube has some notable streamers. I can't name any notable Facebook streamers off the top of my head other than I know Pinkward streamed there for a long time. But I think that's just how you hit all of the audiences, and a lot of streamers do that now. They do the simulcast to multiple places just so that there's more people watching their stuff, and that's how they make money. But for us as a organization, we want to be as visible as possible. We want to hit all of those platforms, but we got to nail down our production and get good at one first. Which is gonna be a growing process, but we're definitely getting there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes this Saturday in terms of streaming. We are also going to stream on Twitch the championship. We're going to kind of do a little workaround, though, so it makes the process easier. We'll see how it goes. But we're also doing YouTube just because, WSU TV has a platform. We want to show off what we can do, so we have to put a lower brand, but we're still putting on Twitch, too. So I'm really excited about that. But do you guys like to add anything else about this Twitch or Mixer stuff going on? I think we pretty much covered it.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Okay.
Real quick, Justin, I have a really weird question for you. Do you have a puppy by chance or a dog?
Yes.
Yes. Can you grab your dog real quick? Because we have a puppy talk segment in our podcast now.
I guess I can get him. You might have to give me a second.
Yeah, that's fine. You can get it. So, real quick, I'll kind of just talk about the event this Saturday. Is that right now the event starts at 10 a.m. I believe. So for the whole tournament itself, you guys can go ahead and sign up. Is this on WSU Tech's website?
Yes, it's on WSU Tech's website. There's a link to the Battle 5 page there with a list of rules and a way to register.
Yeah, they're giving away a PS5, I believe. So, and Justin's back, and there's no puppy, I think. So, wait, there is?
All right, here's my my dog. Let me get him up here.
Oh my gosh, it's a big puppy.
He is 8 months old, and he is humongous. Here, let me get him up here. He is a big boy. His name's Hoss. But
that's a good name for that dog.
Go. Let's get him out of here.
Okay. Thank you for doing that. That's a little tradition we started last podcast. I am in the office, so I don't even have a dog, so I can't show off my puppy. So I might have to steal
running around back behind me. I've seen him go up the stairs like twice.
Yeah. It's funny when you brought him up. I was like, oh my god, has he been barking and I just haven't been hearing him? I was like, oh no.
No. Okay. Yeah. So again, real quick, the event this Saturday, join us. Starts at 10 a.m. We don't know when the champions are going to start. We're thinking around the afternoon, like 5, 4 around there. We're still trying to figure out details, but just stay tuned with the social media, WSU Esports social media, WSU TV social media. And we'll eventually, you go on our YouTube channel, we'll probably stream it once it's ready to go. So, and what's crazy is PS5 is, I think, the big prize. I think there's more prizes though, but PS5 is like the big one, right?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know exactly what the other prizes are, but yeah, the PS5 is the big one. Winner of the grand finals gets that. They're going to get I believe they're giving away like a Best Buy certificate to go purchase it like as soon as it comes out. So that's really exciting. I mean, that's a pretty solid prize, I think. So I'm excited to see these high school graduates duke it out for that.
Yeah. So, hey, okay. So thanks for joining me, guys. We had some problems getting people together, but thank you for joining us, Justin. And I know this is like you weren't expecting to do this, but you helped us a lot. And Courtney, get better. We'll see you guys this Saturday. Thanks again. Bye.
All right. Thank you.